Hey, all right, so I'm gonna keep this quick. It's Friday, and I said I would be back to talk a little bit more about some shadow stuff because that shit's fun. I'm dropping my stuff all over the place here. So, let's see. The last time I was on, which I think was Wednesday, we talked about the shadow self and how it may be showing up in our careers or jobs, okay? So today I'm talking about how might the shadow be acting as an obstacle for us with our money, all right? So jobs and careers and money are two completely separate things. I think we all know those people who make a shitload of money and never seem to have any, right? So they might have a fabulous career, they might be very fulfilled professionally and make terrible financial decisions. Whereas we know those people who make very little money but seem to make very smart financial choices, and vice versa. Okay, so I'm going to separate out those two things as different because they are very different. I'm sorry, I can't figure out where to look here. So I'm filming from this wide angle because I started putting these on my YouTube, and I realized that where portrait mode works really great for Instagram, it's terrible for YouTube. So I'm going to try to see if perhaps this works a little bit better. All right. How's the shadow self showing up for us as an obstacle with our money right now? So if you are somebody who needs more money or is experiencing trouble with money, perhaps you feel like you're making bad decisions with money, whatever that might be. Let me move my incense over just a little bit. Okay. Let's dive into that. Okay. So the first card, how is the shadow self showing up or acting as an obstacle with our money? Okay. The Nine of Cups. So in a regular read, the Nine of Cups is a pretty fucking fantastic card to pull. It means achievement, attainment of your goals, fulfillment, success, right? The cat caught the bird, right? He achieved his goal. From a shadow perspective, what it's actually looking at is, are you willing to make the sacrifices necessary to earn that money or to get that money? I realize there's a lot of people out there who've lost their jobs, been furloughed, laid off, or who just need money, right? They're in dire straits financially, right? So that's a significant portion of our country. Again, on the previous session where I talked about the shadow self and careers, the shadow self may not have anything at all to do with you losing your job, okay? That can be completely out of your influence and out of your control. That might have absolutely nothing to do with your particular situation. It could certainly prevent you from getting a new job if you're not doing the right things, okay? So don't mistake that for you're not to blame. You could be doing the wrong things and losing opportunities that are there for you professionally. But on the subject of how is the shadow self showing up with money, right? Like, let's say that the job is not the issue. Let's say that you have a job or you found a new job or that's not the problem, but like where's your money going, or why can't you seem to get ahead? Why do you always have these bills? Why is your bank account always overdrawn? Those types of things, right? What sacrifices are required of you to get that money that's just sitting there, right? There's plenty of money out there in the world right now. Why don't you have more of it? That's the question you're asking, okay? So what is required of you to get that money? What do you need to do to get more of that? There's always going to be a give and take, and the sacrifices that are required of you to get that money right now might be something you're not willing to do, or not making time to do. That's also a consideration. The second part of that is, why do you desire that money? Okay, so what's at the heart of your desire? What's the true reason? What's your true desire? Okay, so are you romanticizing something? So is the reason why you want this money to just survive? Okay, that's a completely different scenario than I want a bunch of extra money so that I can buy a boat, right? Just getting by and surviving, do it, right? Your desire and your drive is at the bottom of that pyramid of life needs, right? Like you need to put a roof over your head and food on your table, and maybe you have kids and you got to feed them too, okay? So I'm not talking to you in that regard, but if you're somebody who's looking for that money, and it's not for like just living expenses, right? It's for extra, right? You're at the point where you have disposable income, or you want to buy luxury goods or something along those lines. You want to live a more comfortable lifestyle. Why do you desire that? Okay, now there's nothing morally wrong with wanting to have nice shit. Okay, I think most of us want to live comfortably, and maybe my definition of nice shit is different than your definition of nice shit, but whatever that is, it is living comfortably. Okay, now some of us want to live lavishly, and there is nothing morally wrong with that. Okay, so nobody here is judging you if you're like, I make $1 million a year and I want to make $5 million a year. Great. Once you do, let me know how you did it, because I do too. Okay. But the point here is what's at the heart of that desire, okay? Because if at the heart of the desire is not something that you truly believe in and completely back, you're not going to make the sacrifices required to get that. And that's the point of that point. The point of that point. If it's not something that you want deep down inside, it's not a true, like deeply rooted desire, the sacrifices required of you to get there to make that extra money aren't going to happen. You just aren't going to do it. It's not important to you. We're all that way, all of us, okay? If you're in a situation where you just need to keep a roof over your head and food on your table, you're going to go out and work 4 jobs in order to do that, right? Like that's basic survival. But if you're at a point where you already live comfortably and you're wanting more money, but your reason for wanting more money isn't sound, like you yourself haven't even bought into that idea, nothing you do is going to bring you that more money because you don't even believe in it, okay? And then what would that mean for you to strive for something completely new, okay? So instead of saying I want this extra money to go buy a boat because my dad has a boat and I want to be like my dad, you know, whatever the reason is, what if you wanted the extra money to go start a completely different career, okay? Or walk down a different path in life, or move to a different country, okay? If that is what you truly desire, you will work for it. You will make the sacrifices you need to make that desire come to fruition and get that actual attainment, right? That fulfillment and that legit fulfillment. That's what you're gonna work for, okay? The answer to how do I get more money, or how is my shadow self blocking me from getting more money right now, is the answer is actually inside you. It's not around you. Look within, not without, okay? So ask yourself that question, why do I truly desire that money right now, okay? Survival notwithstanding, if you're in a different boat where, you know, you're surviving and now you just want more, why, okay? And then conversely, and I'm not anybody's financial coach, okay, but I've been there, done that, and I've had like all kinds of financial shit. I've lived high and low. I'll just put it that way. If your true desire for more money is to go buy a brand new big screen TV, but you got 30 grand and fucking credit card debt, this card's talking to you, okay? It's saying, why the fuck do you really want that money? Because bitch, you got debt. All right? That's the important thing going on here. How is the shadow self? Is the shadow self, I would also interpret this as saying, are you engaging in retail therapy, right? We all do. We all have moments of fuck it, right? I'm having a terrible fucking day. Let me see what kind of deals there are on Amazon right now, okay? Or let me go to the mall, or, you know, now that everything's closed, I don't know what the equivalent of let me just wander around the mall and buy shit. It's probably let me go on Amazon, okay? So that question is, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to make the sacrifices? If this is a true desire and this is truly what you desire, are you willing to make the sacrifices to get it? If it's not truly what you desire, what do you truly desire and what are you willing to do to get that? Okay? And then retail therapy is not what you should be doing right now, okay? Now, the second card from the Occult Tarot, this is my deck of Goetic demons, okay? And what I love about this deck is that just like the concept of demons, most people view demons as evil or negative or bad. They are a power to be harnessed just like any other deity, right? Respectfully. But turning a negative into a positive, or learning to use a negative influence or negative power, or something seen as a negative influence or power, and use it for your own benefit and good. Okay, so this is answering the question of, okay, so if this truly is an issue of not following what we really desire, how do we figure out what our true desire is and then use it for financial gain? Okay, so Amon is the demon card that I pulled, and Amon's energy resonates most with the Two of Pentacles. So Pentacles is great because Pentacles is the suit of money, right? It deals with all things career, financial, material, wealth. It's great that a Pentacles card showed up here, because honestly, that's the question that we're asking, right? How do we manifest that wealth or financial gain, considering the effect that our shadow or our shadow self is in our situation as far as an obstacle or an influence, right? So twos are also about balance and duality and recognizing strengths and weaknesses, okay? And what this card is telling us is right now you're juggling, okay? Whatever it is that you want this money for, you don't have enough money for whatever your needs are, you're juggling things, okay? It might be that you're putting expenses on a credit card this month, paying some of it off next month, but then you don't have enough for more expenses and putting it on another credit card, or using one credit card to pay off another credit card, those types of situations. It could also be that you are working 4 jobs to make ends meet and you're burning out, you're juggling. This is multitasking, right? This is telling us to be flexible, but it's also telling us that we all have strengths and weaknesses, okay? So there's the duality. And right now is not the time to be expansive or transformative or take on challenges with money, okay? Notwithstanding the current financial situation, but even if that wasn't going on right now, this is not the time to go out and take on new challenges with your money. But what it is the time to do is look at your inherent strengths and weaknesses, okay? You have a skill set that you can monetize. There is something that you can do in your sleep, right? It might be a previous career. It might be just something that you're really good at, okay? That you can do, like I said, in your sleep, okay? Monetize that. That's where right now your extra money is going to come from, okay? Maybe in a couple months that'll change, but right now this is basically telling us, A, what do you actually desire, and are you willing to do whatever it takes to get that which you desire? And perhaps you need to walk down a different path. Perhaps the path you're on that you're not making enough money or that's not yielding the financial gains you want isn't even your path. You're not even meant to walk that path. Choose a different path. But if you are on that path and it is the right path for you, what are you willing to do? And stop fucking spending money when you got bills to pay, okay? And then use your inherent strengths. Right now there's something inside you, something you're good at, a skill that you have, even if it's not a skill that you love doing, right? Maybe it's something that you don't even enjoy doing anymore, but you can make money at it, right? It might be freelancing, it might be babysitting, it might be long hair, it might be hairdresser, right? I don't care, whatever it is, but you can make money at that right now, and that's where your extra money is going to come from. So there's our shadow read for the day. That was fun. It is Friday. I hope that everyone has a good drink. I have some mead here. I took a step up from my shitty Trader Joe's rosé of last weekend. I hope you guys all have a good night, and hopefully I'll see you back here tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to be on. I got like a handful of things I got to do. I'm shuffling my bats. I was talking about my bats Wednesday night. But I will see you back tomorrow. DM me or comment if there's particular shadow subjects you want me to talk about. I randomly just kind of pull them out of thin air, or things that I read. I'm like, oh, that would be a great topic, and then draw cards on them. But if there's something that you really want to know, like how is my shadow self preventing me from being a better parent or whatever, send me a message, and I will draw for that subject tomorrow. It'll probably be like maybe later afternoon, early evening or something before I jump on though. All right, have a good one, guys.